Hey everybody, my name is Rydo, and today I'm going to look at the Star Trek Adversaries beta that just came out today. Before I get too far, please subscribe and click that notification bell so that maybe, just maybe, YouTube will show you notifications when my videos come out. Now, I'm going to be covering this game from a slightly different perspective than I think a lot of people are. First of all, I am not an uber fan of Star Trek. I would say I'm probably a bigger fan of Star Trek The Next Generation than I am any part of Star Wars. But I actually go the third route and would much prefer Babylon 5 between Star Trek or Star Wars, for as few of there are people like me out there. So this isn't going to be a hyper nerdy coverage of, oh, this is the Spock from this episode, or anything like that. Like, I know this is Spock from the original series, or an animation to look like Spock from the original series, but I'm not going to try and place them to specific shots and specific episodes or anything really too informed. I'm not even going to say nerdy. I'm just not going to be that informed. That being said, I am a little bit informed, so I do know Star Trek and I know what it's all about. And let's see if this can work the way I had set it up. So, my second perspective and reason to want to look at Star Trek Adversaries is because it's a card game, and my thought there will be that because the card game I'm playing right now, and yes, my password is that long, because the card game I'm playing right now is Hearthstone, and it's been out for a while, and I missed the early beta, and honestly, even having played Hearthstone for several years, I still feel like I'm behind the curve. I always feel like I'm behind the curve, that you would really need to put a good few $100s into it every expansion to stay ahead and really try to play well. So I'm trying to see if maybe this would be a replacement, but frankly, being so specific as being Star Trek themed, I'm not sure how many expansions you could put in a card game like this, if that's even what kind of card game this is. I could be totally wrong. This could be you get the entire collection of every single card at the beginning, and this is a deck building game instead. So let's just see, I guess. Login help and patch notes. So this is, I believe, the ensign from the first series, who was just in, I think, the pilot episode of the original series. I'm not sure if she ever appeared anywhere else. And so I guess people in the chat can tell me all the things I got wrong. And this is Scotty, who I believe was missing fingers. The actual actor was missing fingers from being in the war. Maybe I'm making all that up too. Alright, so login's not working. Login help. Let's see. Is it my firewall, or is it... Let's see. We've got all the settings on this beta pretty much at the maximum, full screen and all of that. So let me Alt-Tab out and see if my firewall triggered a warning. No. Okay. So I exited out in the process of trying to create a account, but I thought I had. So let me black out the screen for just a moment and see if I need to type in some more personal information. Perhaps the username is not actually the username that they want, but instead they want the email. And I guess I should have checked. Also, I guess I should check my own email just to make sure whether or not there was some kind of confirmation link. And just double check my spam box. Nope, I'm not seeing anything at all. Alright, well, let's go back and make the account again and start over. Apologies. I thought I had set up all of this, but being in beta, I suppose maybe exiting out really didn't send the information where it needed to go. Now, I'm not a big fan of having to type in an email and create a second account for a game that's available on Steam. I think one of the many things that Steam should do is limit it down to login tokens, so that there's just not so many important information getting handed to people that don't really need it. I'm also not a big fan of a lot of fake games coming out and trying to impose third-party end-user license agreements on top of the default Steam license agreement, oftentimes just so that they can say, didn't type in the password, right? You agreed to not get a refund for our bad game. Yeah, you know you've got a good password when you screw up typing it multiple times every time you try to type it in. Because if you can't type it in correctly, how in the world is anybody else going to be able to? There we go. And let's try this again. Name illegal, it's telling me.
This is Captain James Kirk of the USS Enterprise.
So, apologies for all of that. We're back now. So, I apparently did make an account. It's in their database, which is probably a terrible database that they need a lot more work on. But the login didn't work, so I wouldn't be surprised if I have to go and do a recovery on one or both of these accounts at some point, because the password I typed in was probably too long or too complicated for them. I've run into banks where my default password scheme is too long, and I'm like, why am I trusting you with my money? So we've got the... Probably going to get me in trouble with Content ID original series music playing. And here we have James T. Kirk, or the... as we know him, being animated drawing. Captain, we need your help. You're the closest vessel to the Epsilon 7 system. Help defend the colonists until the Enterprise can arrive. Aye, aye, sir. So, from what I saw on this game, it's going to have some fancy animations, which is cool, I suppose. It's Hearthstone equivalent, which was what I'd be mostly comparing this to. Having some fancy graphics is good. There's a slight danger that this graphics and these 3D graphics might be a little too fancy, and when you try to translate this down to a mobile game, which you really need your card game to work on a mobile format. Also, there could be some problems here. I'm imagining that there's going to be a lot of problems here because I am just being like flooded with information on the screen right now. We have, is Kang our enemy? Opponent, flagship, and information. So Kang has 4 flagships or a level 4 flagship. I don't know. We're on deck 15. So is that there are 15 cards in my deck, or is this actually deck 15 on my ship? Let's see. Your information and flagship points, apparently that's me in this. They've made me some kind of monster from the original series. I'm sure somebody can say in the comments where that comes from. It actually looks like it might be from one of the movies, one of the later movies. Over here we have the opponent energy and auxiliary power. So, wait a minute. What is it SP, Ultra, and then auxiliary? I don't know about that. And then this is the enemy's turn, I guess, over here. And this is your energy and auxiliary power. Energy is used to play the cards in your hand. It's kind of like magic. Or to compare it with Hearthstone, since they're similar enough, it would be your mana. So I probably start with enough energy to play some of these cards, but not all of these. Although this blue and white gives me some weird indicator. Like, why can I not play this and I can play this? Or maybe I can play both of these. I don't know. Auxiliary power is used to activate your special and ultimate ship abilities, which in Hearthstone that would be your hero power and maybe a weapon. Here we have Scotty. I know it's been a while since you've seen combat. Here's a quick reminder of your ship's controllers. So we're one screen into the tutorial. The problem, I would say, doing a Star Trek card game is you're going to have to expand it from just fighting. Like, you could probably do the original series a decent homage by having you always fighting. It doesn't hurt in Hearthstone because World of Warcraft is a RPG grinding MMO, so you are pretty much always fighting. But when you start getting into the next generation, I would say a decent 50% of all the storyline plots and all the scenes in the next generation are not majorly built around fighting and war. Whereas the original series, it pretty much was. But there was also some of the best episodes of the first series weren't built around fighting. Your opponent has played a ship with Guardian. You'll need to destroy it before attacking the enemy flagship. So the flagship is the hero. This ship has Guardian or a taunt equivalent to Hearthstone. So this is a 1 energy, I guess maybe 1 crew and 1 hull or 1 strength ship, if this is the equivalent of Hearthstone. It seems like the cards are a little bit bigger in this than Hearthstone does, which that's nice.
Men phasers armed and ready, sir.
You'll need to use the dilithium upgrade to play that shuttlecraft in your hand. Drag the card shown into the area below and then do the same with the shuttlecraft. So, let's see. It's a 0 energy spell card that grants 1 energy and 5 auxiliary power. How much energy do we have right now? Like, that's not special. Is this energy? We're gonna have to keep our eyes open to see which of the numbers that are flooded on the screen I'm supposed to do. This guy wasn't added, I believe, until the 2nd or 3rd season of the original series. So I dragged the dilithium upgrade, and what went up? Like, I maybe knocked this up a notch, I guess, and that gave me 2. So now I have enough to play the shuttlecraft from the next generation, the Galileo Rescue Shuttle. That sounds like a reference to a specific episode of the next generation, maybe even later. And again, I'm assuming 1 crew, or maybe 1 attack and 2 defense. As retreat, summon the USS Enterprise NC 1701. So this is going to be able to retreat, and it's quite a delay to bring this bring up the main information when hovering over people too. Janice Rand, I guess that's her name. So this is the 17099. This is the 1701. This is USS Valiant from Deep Space Nine. And this is Dathon, an alien, maybe from the next generation. So I'm thinking what's going to happen here is there's going to be some way I can trigger this to summon a really big ship. Otherwise, I mean, I guess I could just kill them. It's going to be rather annoying playing this game over and over again, hearing so many sound effects like that, the classic sound effects. I mean, you're really going to have to tone it down to play a game like this. When you're finished with your turn, you can click the end turn button. If there are no possible moves, the button will turn green. Okay. And so I guess I can't retreat it right now, so I'm going to end the turn. Exactly what I was talking about. Like, just that they really are going to play up on the license of all the sound effects that they have on this. And it's not going to work well for people who might want to play this game multiple times against other people. A crew card can be played in an open friendly ship's crew slot. Crew contribute either their attack or hit point values to the ship, and they are played on. Like ship's crew can have abilities that trigger when entering battle or while in play. So crew are effectively the buff characters.
Steady as we go.
The crew slot can be either command blue or engineering gold. So no security. And why are the command cards blue when this is totally wrong? In the original series, the command crew wore yellow goldish. The medical crew wore blue. The red was kind of the security, Like the color coding doesn't match at all, and there was not that much of color coding in any of the others series. So yeah, it seems like they've done something really crazy. Command slots will contribute to the attack value of the crew. Engineering slots will contribute to the hit point value of the crew. Play your crew into the shuttle and boost its attack.
I'm not a magician.
And see, here's McCoy, a doctor, and you can see the slight blue in his outfit. Once your crew is aboard, click and drag your shuttlecraft to attack the ship, the enemy ship. So, she was an ensign. I believe that's who this character was, so it wouldn't. So I can drag one here.
Why don't you go chase an asteroid?
Is that all I can do? Or could I have drug a gold? Then I guess the question also becomes, why was she specific? I guess maybe you can drag any character to either one. So it does open this up to an idea of double buffs or more options in gameplay. But we're really missing. So I could retreat this right now, but it clearly doesn't want me to do that. And let's see. I have to hover over here, but that doesn't show the character. You have to hover on the tiny little dot there. I've got this moon coming in from the side. Here's one that's draw until you have the same amount of cards as your opponent. I can't see how many cards my opponent has. I don't know what these do. Are these the phases in one turn? That seems like way too many. Yeah, you really need to be able to see your opponent's number of cards, otherwise you're gonna clearly forget it. Destroy target damage ship. Summon a shuttle pod prototype. Summon a Genghis class. A 5/1 with haste. It kind of makes a little less sense to drag when they're firing projectile weapons. And let's see, how much energy do I have? Apparently not 6. And they've probably done this on purpose. They're going to only hand me 6 energy cards until I do everything they want.
Message from Starfleet Command.
So they played a 3/3 Romulan vessel. Thought we were fighting Klingons. But whatever. This is Enterprise. We stand ready to assist you. Click and drag your shuttlecraft towards the hand to retreat from play.
Captain James Kirk of the USS Enterprise.
When the Enterprise arrives, she'll be ready for battle. Click and drag to attack the enemy flagship. So we drag it backwards. It retreats. Because it retreats, we now have the NCC 1701, which has haste. Adjacent ships gain +1 attack. And apparently in retreating, I didn't need to do anything with the buff. Like, she as a character is still there. That seems like a very strange way for things to go. And let's just attack. I assume that's what we're supposed to do. Like, the game didn't tell me what to do at this point. Let's see. We have Lyda from Deep Space Nine. Play all friendly ships. Gain 1 attack this turn. Draw until you have cards. Neutralize target enemy ship. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Let's see. It says haste, and I cannot read that because I look at my computer through a TV that's across the room. I would assume haste means you can attack things. Can I just avoid? And apparently I can. So the other ship, I guess, didn't have Guardian, and so you can just attack. That doesn't seem like that's going to be super great. It's alright. I mean, Hearthstone certainly has plenty of characters that don't have taunt, but Yu-Gi-Oh! On the other hand, most characters are in defense position, or at least you have the option to put them in defense position. Last time I played Yu-Gi-Oh! At least, and the Magic the Gathering, last time I played that, which was a really long time ago, you could certainly block with characters. Okay, so we have Janeway from Voyager. So, welcome back, Captain. That was some nice work out there. Let me introduce you to the flagship screen. Here you'll find the greatest collection of starships in the universe. Collect enough command points or latinum and unlock any of the ships on the screen to build your next deck. Aye, aye, sir.
Standing by on phasers, Captain.
And here we have the security officer lady from Next Generation who quit the job and got killed after the first or second season. Arguably, I'm not sure it was actually a bad decision. In retrospect, it was a terrible decision, but the first season of Next Generation wasn't as that good. It wasn't going that well. And it's very possible if she had stayed in the position, she may have made the next couple of seasons even worse, and it might have hurt the Next Generation from ever becoming great. So I think she probably did what was right for herself at the time, based on the information she had, and by quitting, and she probably did what was right for the Next Generation series. She did come back for a few episodes as an alternate version of herself, or a clone, or a child of herself, and that didn't lead anywhere also. Okay, it says, I've been assigned to teach you the basics of flagships. It's important to point out that they just mentioned Latinum. I'm assuming that's in-game purchases. So, I suspect this symbol is going to be the symbol for Latinum, and this symbol is going to be the symbol for in-game currency. And that's certainly going to be a nightmare. It also doesn't seem like we're going to have card packs. At the core of this is still a card game. So just being able to purchase what you want limits how long this game could be playable. It seems like right now in the beta, you might be able to buy the entire fleet of the Federation and the Klingon, and if they continue to try to throw in more people, that you can go Klingons, Borg, Romulans, the Dominion, you can go so far with that, but eventually you'll just have to create entire species that were never mentioned before, or mentioned in some unofficial story or fanfic, and nobody's going to be too excited if the latest update adds Ferengi ships. That would probably be the least recognizable fleet, I suppose, while still being recognizable. Each deck begins with a flagship. Each flagship comes with 3 slots to build custom decks of 30 cards. So maybe what this is not actually cards, but heroes. The flagship is the hero, Well, on that point, then they've got Hearthstone beat already. There's only 9 heroes in Hearthstone with 9 very specific hero abilities, and then it's through skins that you can buy or earn. You can change the way the heroes look and what they say, but their hero abilities stay the same, and then through playing certain cards, you can change your hero's ability in Hearthstone. This, on the other hand, has already got, well, that would be 24 heroes. Each flagship also comes with a set of 8 core cards that are drafted in the game for the use of the ship's abilities. There are definitely hero-specific cards in Hearthstone, but it is a lot more than 8. It's, I would argue, closer to 50 now, specific hero cards if you're playing all of the cards that are available, and maybe down to 30 hero specific cards if you're only playing the standard limited play, because in Hearthstone there's standard play where you can only play the most recent and a set of basic cards, and then there's wild play where you can play any card that has ever been in the game except for the cards that were changed and nerfed. Then you can only play the nerfed versions of those game cards. Flagships have 2 abilities, which we didn't use in that tutorial, so I feel like I'm going to end up playing another tutorial just for that. The special ability costing 20 auxiliary power and an ultimate costing 40. It seems like the tutorial would have been better if we were fighting against something like a Borg cube that had a ridiculous amount of health, which thematically that would be a Borg cube. Or, you know, if you're going to really do this, bring out Q as the hero that you're fighting in the tutorial. That would be a nice way to put him in the game and yet not have him be a nuisance in the game, because Q is analogous to a god in his power, so it would be very hard to have them and balance a game around them. Let's see, flagships earn 5 auxiliary power at the end of each turn, as well as 1 for each energy not used and 1 point of damage taken. Interesting. So if you play wildly and take a bunch of damage, you can power up your special ability, your auxiliary power. That's something Hearthstone doesn't do. It would be nice in the next expansion if there were cards that said gain something for every mana crystal you don't use, because by the time you're on the 11th or 12th turn in Hearthstone, you probably have not used 6 or 7 bits of mana throughout the turns. Your currently selected flagship is the NX class. To edit your decks created with this flagship, click the deck button below. To play with the selected deck, click the Ready Buddy button. Man, I didn't realize I was going to be doing this much reading. Your flagship can use a variety of hull designs. Click on the flagship image to choose which design you will take into battle. Click on the core button to view your flagship core cards. And this is Chakotay from Voyager, and this is B'Elanna Troi from Voyager. So perhaps the creators of this game are not big fans of Voyager, and who can blame them, really? And so they're trying to hide most of the characters' appearance is into just this screen instead of the main game. That being said, I have yet to see anything from the Enterprise series. Let's see. Do any of these really look like the Enterprise series of ships? Not really. Click here for details. NX class. Click. I have to click here for aye, sir, which they've been at the bottom of the text since this point. Don't forget to try your luck in Quark's draft tournament. We have the best prices in all of the Health Quadrant. And here is Odo.
Looking out for you pinkskins.
And here is a character, an Andorian from Enterprise. If you need help and want to connect with more of the Star Trek Adversaries community, use the help link in the option to join our Discord. Welcome. So, hull variations. This is something. This is the NX class. And this is the NX class. So this one would cost 65 points. And this would cost 65 points. What else do we have to unlock? This seems like you would have to earn 2,500 Latinum. So some of these don't seem like you could purchase. No, I guess it's both on some things, but not on others. Apparently this is not even anything you can look at until you've unlocked it. I probably could purchase this. No, it's not that they can't be unlocked or looked at, it's that they just don't exist right now. I mean, it is a beta and it's not unheard of for graphical skins to be left out in the beta. This is the Delta Flyer from Voyager. This is a Voyager ship. Where am I here? I must have gotten started here. Constellation class. Don't believe there was ever a TV series on a class like this. I have a fan fiction, as probably most sci-fi Star Trek fans do, about what they should have done for the newest Star Trek. And certainly my idea was not what they did. And I don't think what they did was in line with what anybody wanted. And there is certainly some weirdness because Les Moonves is the person in charge of CBS. CBS owns the property to Star Trek, and inherently I think was the main factor in why it took so long to make a new Star Trek series, and the main factor as to why it is Star Trek Discovery, which most people don't seem to really like. Galaxy class. This is the next generation ship. And Les Moonves is trying to merge, I believe, is it with Fox? No, it's not Fox. Disney? Well, CBS is trying, Viacom, that's what they're trying to merge with. Yes, CBS is trying to merge with Viacom, and one of the main factors is who is going to be in charge of it, and Les Moonves wants to be in charge of this newly merged major conglomerate, and Viacom doesn't really want that. So if that merger goes through and gets approved, and Les Moonves gets knocked out of contention or out of power, then we might see some major changes on the Star Trek front. And we might not. Another factor, certainly with the most recent Star Trek series, is that Netflix funded the creation of the first season because they had the international streaming rights while not having the United States streaming rights, which were tied in with CBS All Access, which is a horrible streaming service by every explanation I've ever heard. These are certainly some ships I've never seen, and I have a real hard time believing this ever existed or was shown in any show, unless this is Star Trek Discovery. It probably is Star Trek Discovery. most people, including myself, only saw the first or second episode on CBS and then refused to get CBS All Access. So they haven't even seen it. They've only heard from third-hand knowledge, people willing to spend the money to about how it's not really doing anything they want. Okay, so we're here. Then let's see. Tutorial is here. Options are here. And then Discord is here. Help is here. I guess Discord is here and Twitter is there. So then I guess we need to see what these are. But let's go with deck first.
Maximum power to the shields.
The deck editor allows you to build and edit your decks for each of your flagships. You can see all cards in your collection from this screen.
I'm an android.
Here we have data. Each deck consists of 30 cards from either your flagship, faction, or neutral cards. The deck may contain both ships and crew, but no more than 3 legendary quality cards of each. So, wait a minute. Does that mean you can have 3 legendary ships and 3 legendary crew? I assume you can only have 1 copy of 1 legendary, but maybe there aren't any duplicates in this game at all. That would certainly be an interesting twist compared to Hearthstone. You can click on a card already in the deck to remove it. Clicking on a card in your collection will add it to your deck.
Thanks for assigning me to this mission.
Use the deck toggles to change your deck slot you want to view and edit. Click core cards to toggle between your deck editor and your flagship core cards.
I'm not a soldier anymore. I'm an engineer.
It's a shame he didn't get a series to himself. I think he probably would have made a good captain after Deep Space Nine. Click the replicator button to see all the cards available in the game. Right click any card of common quality or higher to replicate a copy. Cards that can be replicated from Latinum or replicator tokens of the appropriate quality. I'm really hating where these buttons are getting placed. I'm also really hating just how much there is here. This is ridiculous. It's just way too much. Compared to Hearthstone, your cards are on the left where they would be on the right. I think that's a little bit more natural for them to be on the right, considering most people are right-handed, and thus they have the mouse in their right hand. Thus, it's easier to keep things on the right than to overexert your wrist to the left. Let's see. Eligible, legendary. How do you reset this? All cards, filter, Federation, neutral. I guess you have to toggle everything. I mean, eligible, and clicking eligible does not untoggle it. So, all cards, Federation, neutral is a group. And then legendary is a group. And right now, we have... So, legendary should have a line above it as its own filter. Is this something where you can type something? No, this is something where you can type something. So, what's this filter here? And this is your special, and this is your ultimate, just telling you what your specific card or hero character does. Let's look at the crew. This time only. Then toggle off legendary. It's probably easiest to just look at all cards. And let's see. And this is not gonna work. if every character has a voice file to play, this is gonna be a really big download. Do these just...
I accessed your data file.
And what's interesting is this is a character from Voyager, so listen how crisp and clean his audio is. Like, you can hear sound effects from the Voyager episode. Now compare that to like him. It's like you just have background orchestra music and that's kind of it. A lot less quality there. Like, this is probably a next generation character. How do you silence these? Man, this is a nightmare. It really is. This guy on the right is probably going to sound not as good as the guy on the left.
Listen to the voice of your blood.
I think he's from the movie.
This is Captain Cargan.
Take my thoughts.
And
Just thought I could be of some help.
this would be really hard to place all of these.
Reason should settle disputes.
A warp field specialist?
Like, I have no idea where he's from.
Betazoid women are full of surprises.
And see, I think this actress was the actress, the actual wife of the creator of Star Trek. Although, arguably, one would say that Star Trek, particularly if you like the Next Generation after the first season, and that's when you think it got good, that's kind of not Gene Roddenberry at all. I forgot her first name, but it would be Miss Roddenberry. This is like, you would want to untoggle the crew every time and look at set you back to the beginning, just so you're not hearing
I will cut your tongue out.
that every time. I'm assuming that these locks tell me I can't craft them, or I can possibly craft them, but I don't have them.
But first, the Tranya.
Let's see. So if I right click them, I can't do anything. If I left click them, I can't do anything. So the lock, either these are ineligible because they're Klingon cards, but then why is this ineligible? Because I already have one? Like,
But first.
And there's no dragging motion here. Hearthstone's very good and polished about, you can click it and it will go into your deck. You can drag it and it will go into your deck. They do have an import and export, which seems like a nice thing, but like, you have to come over here and then I guess paste and then import. And then let's get rid of eChub. And see, now that we got rid of one, we can get it there. And if we click on it and try to drag, it doesn't work. Okay, and that messed up our list again. Once we started moving things around. How many of these cards are you starting with? You're starting with probably a lot more than what you would start in Hearthstone. Hearthstone particularly does have this really bad habit of making you play for almost a week before you can really experience the game and even have a chance of having a good experience. And then you pretty much have to play a month before you can even do a tavern brawl, which is also crazy. They've introduced a new copy deck feature so that if you are new to Hearthstone and you friend somebody, you can copy their deck and play their cards really quick. but you still have to go through a rather long tutorial that's unnecessary. They want you to play the single player experience, which is not good. So let's click here. It doesn't seem like there's actually too many cards to even craft right now. So this beta falls apart in the fact that there's seems to be some major issues just on how far you could take this.
Any good books lately?
And see, this is what I figured, is that there just isn't enough characters and elements. I'm surprised there aren't planet cards that would change your location to start off with. I'm surprised there aren't missions. I'm surprised there isn't a card that says diplomacy, negotiate, some very basic things, because there definitely have been Star Trek card games before. They could have stolen a lot more ideas. And unlike Hearthstone, where they could make up any card that just vaguely looks like it's from World of Warcraft, just has to barely look like that, and add it to Hearthstone, you're going to run into a real problem if you start adding new species and new elements without something to back it up. And if you were going to make a Star Trek game set in a new timeline with new aliens and new events, I wouldn't want it to be a card game. So can I craft Q? Reduce the cost of all your cards in your hand by 5. Sure. It's 1600 Latinum.
Eat any good.
And I have 1500 Latinum. 1600 and 1600. Seems like I'm missing just 100 Latinum short.
I am Locutus.
So what could I get?
Fortune favors the bold.
Seems like all these gold rarity cards probably aren't gonna work. This also is 1600. This is only 40. So let's replicate it. And I guess you can have 2 of them, and that's what the 2 stars down here mean. Suppose it is worth mentioning that, what's that show that is basically just Star Trek it's on the Fox network. It's basically Star Trek, but it's a parody of Star Trek, so it's trying to not get sued, and it probably won't get sued because of who's in charge of making it. Let's go back and change back to our default deck. Although I'm not 100% sure how you pick that. Big old confusing menus. What's this do? This is friends, so you can friend people right where it would be in Hearthstone. This is missions, so play 4 days this week, and apparently I hit over the midnight mark. Now I'll give you 70 Latinum. Win 10 ranked multiplayer games, win 10 games in Quark's Arena, win 2 games in Quark's Arena, and this is a daily one. Win 2 games in either Quark's Arena or ranked multiplayer, and this gives you a standard pack, which I guess they are going to have some packs. Interesting.
I'm with Starfleet. We don't lie.
Welcome to the shop. Here you can purchase your command points packs to bolster your collection. So here you go. Each pack will contain a pack of 5 cards. Packs contain at least 1 card of rare quality or better. That is the basic thing of Hearthstone. Let's see. I suppose I could open 15 packs right now, and you could get either a standard pack or a Federation pack, which the Klingon pack actually is. So you can kind of break it down between Klingon and Federation if you want to play, or you could just do random. Before we do that though, let's try Quark's Arena. What is this? It says Quarks. What does this say? This is, I suppose, a clan system. Interesting. So how many clans are here in the beta so far? Sector 31. And some are open and some are not. So if you look at the biggest one to start off with, you have this Delta Quadrant. So let's just join them already. Okay. We'll see what that does for us. Let's see what we can switch our face to. Seems like you get any number of characters except for any of the interesting characters. Like, you can play like as the bad doctor in the Next Generation, or a bunch of Klingons, but none of the important characters. I mean, this I believe is Spock's father. He'd probably be the most important character we've seen so far, or maybe him. Like, this is the nurse, I believe, from Next Generation. This would probably be the most powerful character. Yeah, this is a bad selection. Is this supposed to be the Vulcan character from Enterprise? Doesn't even really look like her. We'll just go with him. Why not? That is a terrible collection. And it seems like Quarks is just not working. So I guess I can't evaluate then. So 15 packs. Okay, so let's see how much this is in real money. If you spend $5, you'll get 325 command points, and a 20% bonus of what? Well, it seems like what you would want to do, that your best offer here, is to spend $50, get this much, and get a 400 bonus of 400, I assume, % bonus of chances of getting legendary cards. And that's command points. So 2 purchase buttons here. Command points are used to purchase packs, flagships, and flagship skins. And so this wants 1380. Oh, command points. So you can't buy this. You can't buy more than 1 pack with Latinum at a time. And in Hearthstone, there's a way to do this. To double click and then type in up to 50. But seems like
good customers are as rare as Latinum.
Let's see.
Good customers are as rare.
Packs purchased. Well,
good customers
get 1
are as rare as Latinum.
of everything.
Good customers are as rare as Latinum.
And often playing Hearthstone feels a lot like this too. It's just you're spending
Good
all that
customers
gold.
are as rare as good customers are as rare as
The weird thing is with this intro gold, you probably are going to have a good chance of having close to all the cards, as close as you probably ever will be. So to open packs, you have to click over here. So let's start with a Federation pack. And it seems to react when you hover over it. And it's very much just aping the opening animation of Hearthstone, which there's no reason for that to be the animation in Star Trek. Why not a teleporting in animation? It seems like this might be a good card, or this might be the one bad card, and these might be good cards. So, Hoshi Sato from Enterprise, a ship, another ship, Christie Chapel, the Keeper. And so you get the little teleport out, but it seems kind of crazy. And you can do the Hearthstone thing where you drag it around, but there's not even a square you're dragging it to. So if I just drop it anywhere, it just kind of goes here. And it seems like it kind of reacted to me going over it, but maybe not. Let's move the mouse over here. Maybe I'm attributing an animation. Yeah, it just does that. Okay. So we're looking, I guess, for legendaries. And to see if we get anything that makes any interesting sound when we get legendaries, any kind of audio-visual feedback. Now I've learned that if you hit spacebar, you will automatically open it in Hearthstone. Does not seem to be the case here. So apparently you can have 3 of these kind of cards. Interesting. So they must be less rarity. Now in Hearthstone you can only have 2 of any card, and that keeps it for the most part balanced. There are some ways to try to magically duplicate your cards while in the middle of play, but it kind of works. And you can only have 2 of most cards, and then legendaries you can only have 1 of. And other games in the past you have been able to have 3, 4, infinite numbers of copies of cards. Come on, legendary. Come on, legendary. Now, as I started, I said I wanted to evaluate this game to see if it was would possibly be a game I could play instead of Hearthstone. I think the answer is pretty obvious. No. I think this is a fine game for a Star Trek fan to probably play for a short time, but like so many license cards, is this extra? Is it going to get turned into some kind of latinum? Is that what that symbolizes? Or is this a golden? Like, we haven't seen any golden version of cards yet, but I bet they introduce it eventually. Like, so many licensed games, people try out in beta and early, and then they just quit. Like, there's not enough here to interest people. Honestly, if I was to just throw out a suggestion, have a Twitch stream or YouTube stream going on. Probably would have to be Twitch at all times, airing random Star Trek episodes with a chat. that's a great way where you can use the existing property to keep people playing this game. Now, for my uses when I play Hearthstone, I'm talking about the video game news. This looks like it might be an epic quality card, although these colors are not as intuitive as you would think. I've been playing games for decades and decades, and I've never really locked into, is a uncommon supposed to always be a blue, or is a rare always blue? What is a green? What is a purple? I'm not sure there actually is any consistency between other games. We've seen this one several times, or something similar to this. So yeah, when I'm playing Hearthstone, I'm talking about video game news. I'm reading it on my second screen and being mostly distracted. I think in ranked play, we're going to have to see how well that would really work. I imagine not very well at all. Let's see, it didn't seem like we got any Latinum from that extra card. And if I imagine we eventually will get Latinum for having extra cards. But I'm not sure how much it will be. It'll probably be close to 20 since we found some cards that cost 40 to make. And it's hard to have interest to build a deck for a game you know you're probably never going to play again. And that's what I feel about this. It may not be a terrible idea, however, for people to make accounts. The accounts are free as long as you're willing to give away your email address. So make a day one beta account and see if they give you a bunch of command points in Latinum because of that. Join a clan. Maybe that will help you get points in the long run. But coming back as far as doing the daily quests or these weekly quests, so yeah, you really got to look here. 70, 140, 210 plus you multiply 7 by this, you have another 210. So you're at 440 plus a standard pack if you do this. You're only going to get 2 or 3 packs a week. And Hearthstone has already made it a little bit easier to do that. Let's see. And I still cannot get in the Quarks. So I have to come back, I suppose, to Dex. And we could, let's see if the keyword new works. No, it doesn't. Even though it says new. In Hearthstone, you can type new and see the new cards. Let's see, that would give me, apparently I have 4 tokens for some reason. Where did I get those tokens from? Are these replicator tokens that we got for... Did we get replicator tokens from having extra cards? And it seems like there's certain types of tokens that you can have. And certain cards... This seems like the white ones are basic cards, and thus you'll always have just one of them, and you apparently can't make 2. Let's see. Yeah. So there's some basic cards, there's some Federation cards, there's some Klingon cards. And what... I don't know what we could really do here. Let's see. I guess you go into replicator mode. And then we look and see the full possible collection of cards. which there were more than I think what I was looking at, come to think of it. I think I was looking at the wrong filter. You need to be in replicator mode so you can see all the cards you can make. No, this is the amount. It's pretty small. So
I want to be the first Ferengi in Starfleet.
like if I click this and purchase with a token, I now have one of those.
Fun will now commence.
And this is a gold one, and we don't have that.
I'm doing the best I can.
So if I search eligible, I could make this with Latinum, but I don't have the token. So we'll go ahead and craft that. And
Whoever said the human race was logical?
You're in my way.
And you're just gonna constantly get berated by this. So let's craft one of these. Let's craft one of these. And you can't make any more. So it seems like you can't even craft extra if you want to.
Just thought I could. We believe reason.
But you're gonna spend a lot of time right-clicking over this stuff while listening to the audio, like to find it, because there's one would hope that you would have. So that's all my tokens. So I'm hoping that's it. I think that's probably, if I go to all cards and then eligible. Why is this still eligible? Not sure what eligible really means in this circumstance. Core cards. We could come over to this, and we're in replicator mode. Again, replicator mode, core cards. And core cards don't seem like they really change too much. There's just, these are the 8 cards you can have in your deck. And you'll never have any other core cards, which, at least not until the beta's done. And they've got 38 pages, and they've probably already exhausted all the good ideas in Star Trek. To be fair, it wouldn't be much better if it was Star Wars. So let's hop into this and see if we can play a ranked deck. Here's where you select your deck. Let me click ready. In the ready room, you can select your mode of play. Rank up and take your place among the Starfleet elite. So current rating is 1,000, with highest rating being 1,000. I could play single player against William T. Riker, Gorkon, Krim, Beverly Crusher, Crag, Chang, and Neelix, and let's see, Locutus, and the Borg Queen. And apparently Borg is particularly difficult, but I do want to just play a multiplayer game. So let's see. It's day one, nobody knows what they're doing. We'll see how well we can actually play this game now that we've bought cards and not put any of them in our collection. The planet doesn't seem like it's changing any. I assume what I want to do is probably get rid of this and redraw, just like Hearthstone. Although in Hearthstone, if you play second turn, you get a coin, where it seems like going second here, you start with 4 cards, or maybe going first, you start with 4 cards, and they get an extra energy, which is effectively what the coin is. dilithium upgrade is, I think, the coin. So, if I do this, I'll grant 1 energy. And I can do this. So let's do that. And that. And seems like I probably could. I guess I can't do my special ultra. Seems like there's a timer here that starts at the beginning of the game, and well, it's the beginning of each turn. You have 2 minutes. All right. Play heal target guardian for 3.
I accessed your data file.
And so I healed it. We might as well play this. And then we'll attack. And that's all I can do, so we end the turn. I really don't like this 3D board. It doesn't help or make things easier to see. Let's see. Just keep on attacking. And how much health does he have? He started with 30 and he's down to 27. I'm at 30. And this guy doesn't seem like he's doing anything, so I'm starting to wonder, what in the world? Is that him looking at his cards? Like, I'm starting to wonder if very possibly the game is I'm just playing against a bot. See, this one had modulating shields. Do I really have any reason to get rid of this? See, this is Mega Shoulder. This is Guardian. This is Guardian. So if I attack this, will I hurt myself and destroy the ship? Yes. And you apparently can only have 4 things on the field. So that's good to learn. And even if you destroy a ship, it seems like you still take some damage on that. So each hub's ability to heal would probably be really good on this character now. And now I'm seeing that this one has a slot for 1 person, and this one has a slot for 1 person. If I had any more characters. Yeah, this is also very limiting, having only space for 4 ships with no real concern about how physically big the ships are or how expensive they are. This 4 energy ship is taking up the same space as this 1 energy ship, and you can only have 4 on the field, and it seems like it's only because of a visual limitation. Whereas in Hearthstone you could have 7 on the field easily. This game is going as slow as a Hearthstone game. Certainly. I'd like to try something. Let's see, what is this one? A Guardian with 4 health. So let's attack here. And then attack here. At the start of your turn, deal 2 damage to the enemy flagship. Sure. And then we'll summon this. And let's see. Haste. I could be remove Guardian from target ship until the end of the turn. Emergency orders give +2 attack. And jamming to target friendly ship. Draw until you have 4 cards in your hand. Let's take this one. So we're not 100% sure what I'm getting out of playing a ranked game. Like, one assumes it's going to increase my rank rating, but how many ranked victories do I need to earn even a little bit of Latinum? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Hearthstone's pretty cruel. You have to get 3 victories to get like 10 bits of gold, and a pack is 150 bits of gold, so you basically have to win 45 ranked games before you can even earn 1 pack. But then they also have up to 3 daily quests you can collect. So if you come every 3 days and play and get those daily quests done, you're getting somewhere close to 180 gold, or maybe 150. And they've made this quest even easier recently, which is nice. Let's see, I could be making a mistake right now. Let's see, haste, retreat. Let's see, deal 2 damage to a target. There we go. Do I have enough to do the ultimate? Apparently not. So we need to save that up. And it may be charged up actually enough. Let's see, if I don't use any of that energy, I might have enough to do this next time. You kind of need to get a card pack at least once a week to keep people interested. It'd be nice if you got a card pack every day. There's so many old cards in Hearthstone, you probably could get away with that. There's a lot of people that play Hearthstone for just a short amount of time, a few months, and then they get irritated with it. Still can't do that. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this. But this, I think, is fine to play. I can't attack until this guy's out, so this is going away, and then we do this, and we do this, and I'm not sure I really want to do anything else. So I'm just going to end my turn early, even though I could do something else. But with so few cards, since this is a brand new game compared to Hearthstone, which is the right comparison to make here. Like, this game can't give you card packs, and it can't give you cards fast enough to keep you interested. Whereas if Magic the Gathering ever made a good, a really, really good version of their real world card game, then they would, let's see, just play this with haste. Victory, click anywhere to continue. Yeah, you would totally be able to well, if you made a Magic the Gathering game that had all the cards that ever existed, and you would easily be able to give a pack after 3 victories, maybe after 1, since so many of the cards in Magic the Gathering are banned from old collections and there's just newer versions with new art of the old cards, it's not let's see, find me. Where am I on the rank? Having won, and on day 1, I'm already at 230. Interesting. So somebody would have to really get into this and play. But the top rank doesn't seem like it's too crazy. Well, actually, these numbers do seem a little crazy since I only got 16 experience. But, maybe there's some new ways to do that. How many people? You can only really see the first 95 of the list. Interesting. Until you click find me, and then it will show you more. So I guess the one thing that would interest me is if the single player Borg Queen game was something challenging. But I bet it isn't. I bet it's just the exact same game we've done before. Let's take out this one and this one. We can see the Borg Queen is starting with 60 health. Let's see. We could play this, or we can play this. I think you do this, and you play this, and end your turn. See what happens. Alright. Retreat, return this crew to your hand. If I was to do this, he'd give me no increase in attack. And this one says you gain +1 attack every time you retreat a ship. Summon a Borg freighter. I kind of want to play that. And I think it makes a lot more sense to do this. I can't do that. Retreat, return this crew to your hand. Just gonna put him here. And attack. And then in the turn. So, is it logical to retreat this character and return him? Let's see. Play. Summon this.
I can take care of it.
Okay. Just keep attacking. And there are some special single player experiences. In fact, there's the Wild Hunt experience that's going to happen this Thursday that I'll be streaming for Hearthstone, where we might run into some enemies with double the health, but that's it generally just slows down gameplay. Let's see, am I short? Apparently. Nope, I'm not short. Give all friendly ships haste +1 until the end of the turn. Or should I give them more health? These characters, these Borg ships seem to be getting stronger. So that's a prototype, and this is a Borg sphere. Let's see. Retreat, deal 1 damage to all enemy ships. I can't do that. This one has haste. Let's do this. I mean, really, that's the best you could do anyways. And see, this one can be an attack or defense, so I'll put him there. And We'll do one there. This is way too flashy in the animation. Like, just way too flashy in the animation. My ships are getting destroyed. Guardian modulating shields, which theoretically would work against the Borg quite well. Like, wait a minute, why does this look like it has a -1 health? Does it have some kind of buffed 1 health? I don't see the reason for retreating in this game. It doesn't happen enough to make sense. It gets right back to, like, where's your diplomacy cards? Where's your conversation cards? Where's some of the elements? Like, where's your holodeck card? Let's see. Summon a 1/1 ship. And let's see, do I want to retreat this? If I retreated this, what would happen? Gain 1 attack whenever you retreat a ship. I can't retreat. So, like, if I do this, this gains 1 attack. And this one will retreat, restore 4 health points to all friendly ships. Like, what happened there? Like, what happened? Why did the ship not come back to my hand? Play remove Guardian from target ship until the end of the turn. Give all friendly ships. Let's see. I guess.
Part of my job is to anticipate problems.
Like, I don't feel like I'm doing too bad here, although I'm confused. Like, it seems really dumb to retreat a ship now. It seems like it does nothing whatsoever as far as giving you more cards back, and that would have been an interesting gameplay mechanic, a little bit. And there I lost that ship, which was doing a lot for me. It's just... Continue attacking. When comparing this to, like, Hearthstone, you don't have any cards within rage. You don't have anything with combo that I see. You don't have any special character classes. You don't see any cards that says give all Romulans +1 attack or all Romulan ships +1 attack. You're not like, yeah, I don't really see any special designations, any special abilities. Here it looks like I might end up losing here. This is a very noisy, annoying, juddering, flashing, possibly seizure-inducing game. If this was on mobile phone, you could probably treat it a little bit nicer. Let's see, play heal target guardian for 3.
I accessed your data file.
And
I am a doctor.
so we have, I can't attack that one because this one's in the way. And so this one's about to die. Let's see. Here we need to draw cards until we have 4. And we've got a couple more things we can do. I could kill this one. I think that's probably the right move. I've still not been able to play the ultimate once. And what happened? Why did I lose? Was I out of cards? And see, this is why Hearthstone has the fatigue system where you take 1 damage the first time you draw a card and you don't have it. Then you take 2 damage the second time you draw a card and you don't have any more. So you don't just lose. This is very much in the line of Magic the Gathering where you just lose when you ran out of cards. And that's not acceptable now that the fatigue system has been introduced and added. Still not sure about these quirk things. Mission wise, play 4 days this week. How could I have been playing for 4 days this week? Like, this must mean play 4 games this week, not play 4 days this week. Or they programmed it wrong. No way. Win 10 ranked multiple player games. I won 1 and it says 0. Win 10 games in Quark Arena. No, I can't get in the Quarks Arena. Win 2 games in Quarks Arena. And so the heroes things are the problem. Let's see. I can't purchase this. Insufficient command points. The heroes and the ships, I don't think are worth it. The cards are not varied enough, and they just aren't going to be varied enough until they do a major rethink. This game is loud and annoying, which would make it impossible for me to cover video game news while playing it. Having 2 minutes from the beginning to play is probably close to the same amount of time you would play. Who knows what any of these buttons are supposed to do. But yeah. Recruits. Apparently they're going to have you try and recruit other people. My rank is Ensign. Fleet mission of the day. Message of the day. Okay. So I've joined this clan and they'll have to kick me out later, whoever's running it. Yeah, I can't imagine anybody but the most fervent of fervent. And there's like no X button to leave here either. I don't like. I'm gonna end recording here, and I don't even know how to exit the game. This exit game is hidden under options. Wow. And if you want to get back to that main menu, you have to log out. So I assume every time you load the game going forward, you're probably still going to have to log in, even if they say remember you. And then you'll get to the screen. Could this have been done better? Take my idea of the Twitch stream, first of all. Every screen on the game, have a Twitch stream going, showing a Star Trek episode. That would build a community and give people a secondary reason to play this game, and run some ads on that or something, and that would be cool too. Get some Twitch integration. Come back with this game and have way more aliens, way more things to do. Don't just be ships and crew members. That is such a basic, stupid concept. When Hearthstone started, you had minions, you had spell cards. Within spell cards, you have secrets, and you also have weapons. Even though Hearthstone doesn't do too much with weapons these days, you still have 4 different types of cards on the very basic, and within all the minions you had murlocs and well, what else was it? Do they have those? Murlocs, there's pirates, there's combo cards, a lot of minions with special abilities. It seems like every single character in the deck actually does have a special ability, so they've failed. Like when we go into replicator mode, there isn't a single card here that is just a good card, but doesn't do anything. So, and why not have a 1 energy, 2 attack, 2 health that doesn't do anything? That at the beginning of your game, that's when you want to have something like that. None of these crews members, none of the crew members do nothing. So why not have a 9 energy, 8 or 9 attack, 9 ability, or
Fortune favors the bold.
Or a 9 mana 2/2. And this is Federation cards. I guess maybe the basic cards, you do have some that do nothing, but we didn't see those in our first original setup, so we overlooked them. I'm probably speaking slightly out of turn, and I'm pretty sure there will be some Star Trek fans that like this game. But I think a significant portion of Star Trek fans are not going to find this game interesting. It's just not going to be what they were expecting. It's not the role play that you would prefer. I'd much prefer something like a Telltale game where you're playing as a Star Trek character, or RPG where you're playing as a Star Trek character, or an action adventure game where you're playing as a Star Trek character. I wouldn't be expecting a card game, and if you were going to make a card game, it has to be really, really good. And this is not really, really good. This is kind of lazily done. We've seen a lot of Star Trek and Star Wars games that have been done very lazily, just as licenses to sucker people out of their money. I don't even think this game is going to last long enough to sucker too many people out of their money. Anyways, that's going to be it for the spotlight. I end all my episodes the same way. I hope people enjoyed this. As always, I end my episodes asking you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because all of that helps me with YouTube, tells them that my videos are worth watching. If you want to friend or follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, Facebook, Battle.net to play Hearthstone, or maybe there's a few other links down in the description to other places. Please do follow me on that. Pretty much you have to follow me on some service. You have to follow all YouTubers now on some other service than YouTube, because you just won't get notifications with any consistency if you don't. So if you have Twitter, follow me on Twitter. If you look at Facebook, follow me on Facebook. That's why I have all those links, is to let people know when videos come out. Videos come out, by the way, I guess now they kind of come out almost every day. Most of my series air Monday to Friday, but for instance, I'm covering Resident Evil 5. That was going for so long, since people asked me to make 30-minute episodes instead of 40-minute or hour-long episodes. So Resident Evil 5 and several other series down in the next couple of months will air every day. Hearthstone episodes air every day. I stream Hearthstone Live, where you can talk to me on the chat and hear the video game news every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 2:30, 3 o'clock Central Time, United States Central Time. Sorry, it can't be more precise, but I'm just not that consistent. And yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with Hearthstone. If you do all those things and support me so much, and I'd be so grateful if you do all those things I've already asked you to do. There's one other thing. Because of YouTube demonetizing small channels like mine, I'm asking people to make direct donations and cut YouTube out of it. By which, I'm not asking for Patreon or anything like that. I'm asking you to friend me on Steam, look at my wish list, wait for a sale, wait till you get a Humble Bundle Steam code, and gift me a game. Particularly a game that you're interested in seeing me cover. And then we both have a high investment to get that footage out. Now, games can range from any value from as low as 50 cents to as high as hundreds of dollars. And if you wait for a good deal, that's fine. If you get a Steam code, direct message it to me on Twitter. That'll work well too. If you really can't pick, there is a kind of complicated way in which you can gift gift cards to Steam friends, but then you're locked into a minimum of $5. That certainly would help too. That would give me a extra cushion to buy newer games. Oddly, since this game was free, it's probably one of the fastest spotlights I've ever done on a game, because I could just install it without having to debate in my mind whether it was worth purchasing. Honestly, if this had been $5, $10, $20, I would be asking for a refund by now, and maybe I wouldn't get it because I've probably already been playing for 2 hours. Anyways, that's it for the stream. I hope you found it informative. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.